Imagine sitting down to breakfast and realizing the very foods you've trusted for energy may be quietly draining it. After 60, our bodies handle sugar and carbs differently, like rusty locks that no longer open smoothly. But what if five simple foods could oil those locks, helping you regain strength, clarity, and independence without sugar spikes? Stay with me, because the last one may surprise you. For many seniors, fatigue, brain fog, and stubborn weight feel like inevitable aging. But the truth is, it's often the wrong fuel. After 60, insulin resistance and chronic inflammation creep in, making carbs harder to process. The good news? Research shows specific no-carb, no-sugar foods can help restore balance, lower inflammation, and even protect your memory. As always, this video is for education only. Consult your doctor before making changes. Now, let's walk through the 5 foods that can make the biggest difference for your health. 1. Eggs, the morning powerhouse. When Eleanor turned 72, mornings felt heavier. She told me, "Doctor, I wake up tired, even after 8 hours of sleep." For years, she began her day with toast and jam, comforting, but her body could no longer handle the sugar surge. When she swapped that for 2 boiled eggs, something remarkable happened. Within weeks, her mornings felt lighter, her focus steadier. Here's why. After 60, our cells often stop listening to insulin, the hormone that's supposed to act like a key, unlocking cells so they can use sugar for energy. Think of it like an old lock that's gotten rusty. Sugar just sits in the bloodstream, causing fatigue and inflammation. Protein-rich foods like eggs oil that rusty lock, helping insulin work more smoothly. A 2025 study in Frontiers in Nutrition followed 126 seniors aged 60 to 75. Those who ate higher protein, 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight daily, preserved 15% more thigh muscle mass than those on standard intake. That means stronger legs, steadier walking, fewer falls. Eggs deliver this protein in an easy-to-digest form, along with choline, which supports memory and brain clarity. The best practice? Aim for 2 to 3 whole eggs daily, preferably in the morning. Scramble them in olive oil, poach them, or simply boil. Eating them early helps curb hunger swings and keeps energy stable through the day. Think of eggs as nature's multivitamin wrapped in a shell. Protein for muscles, choline for memory, vitamin D for bones. Eleanor found that simple switch restored her mornings. And she's not alone. Many of my patients notice steadier energy when eggs replace cereal or pastries. But what about cholesterol? Many seniors worry here. In just a moment, I'll share why research shows eggs may actually improve your heart health, not harm it. 2. Fatty fish, the inflammation. Reset James, 68, used to joke that he could hear his heart thumping every night. His blood pressure medications helped a little, but he still felt uneasy. When we looked at his diet, the missing piece was fatty fish. Within 6 weeks of adding salmon twice a week, his blood pressure stabilized, and he told me, "For the first time in years, I feel calm inside." Why does this matter so much after 60? As we age, our immune system's alarm signals get stuck in the on position. These are cytokines like interleukin-6 and tumor necrosis factor alpha, chemical messengers that drive chronic inflammation. Think of it like a smoke alarm that keeps blaring long after the fire is out. That constant noise strains your blood vessels, your joints, even your brain. Omega-3 fatty acids, abundant in salmon, sardines, and mackerel, act like a reset button for this overactive system. A 2021 study in Nutrition and Metabolism examined 200 older adults on a zero-carb, high-fat approach. 67% improved health markers, while inflammation levels like IL-6 dropped significantly. Another review showed omega-3s can reduce IL-6 by nearly 30% in seniors, easing that constant alarm bell. The practical step? Aim for a 3.5-ounce serving, about the size of your palm, 2 to 3 times weekly. Best choices are wild-caught salmon, sardines, or mackerel. Bake or grill them, and avoid breaded or fried varieties that add unhealthy fats. Picture your arteries as garden hoses. Over time, they stiffen, making it harder for blood to flow. Omega-3s are like adding a gentle lubricant, restoring flexibility and protecting the heart rhythm. That's why James not only saw better numbers, but also felt calmer. His internal smoke alarm was finally quiet. But fish isn't the only food that works this way. There's one leafy powerhouse that acts like tiny janitors inside your body, sweeping away inflammation before it does damage. And we'll get to that next. 3. Leafy greens, cellular sweepers. Rosa, 70, once told me she avoided leafy greens because she feared they would interfere with her medication. For years, she skipped spinach and kale, thinking it was safer. But when we carefully reintroduced them into her meals, consistently rather than in bursts, her energy lifted and her digestion improved. She realized the greens weren't her enemy, they were her allies. Here's the biology. After 60, inflammation doesn't just rise, it lingers. Cytokines like interleukin-6 and tumor necrosis factor alpha keep the body in a low, steady flame of inflammation. That flame slowly weakens blood vessels, stiffens joints, and clouds memory. Leafy greens are packed with antioxidants and compounds that act like tiny janitors, sweeping away this excess before it accumulates. They also feed beneficial gut bacteria, helping restore balance in the digestive tract, which often shifts unfavorably with age. A 2024 meta-analysis of over 42,000 subjects confirmed that seniors with higher intake of anti-inflammatory foods, including leafy greens, had significantly lower IL-6 levels, pp less than 0.001. Lower inflammation means steadier blood sugar, better circulation, and even improved mental clarity. The practical step: add 2 to 3 cups daily of spinach, kale, arugula, or Swiss chard. Rotate them for variety. Lightly sautéing in olive oil or enjoying raw in salads keeps nutrients intact. And here's a key insight for those on warfarin. The danger isn't eating greens, but eating them inconsistently. A steady intake helps your doctor adjust your dose safely. Imagine your cells as rooms in a house. Over time, dust gathers, and the air feels heavy. Leafy greens are the housekeepers, entering quietly, dusting every corner, and leaving the space fresh. Rosa now eats her greens daily and says, "I feel lighter, inside and out." But here's what most people miss. There's one creamy fruit that cushions stiff arteries and helps blood pressure fall naturally. And it might already be in your kitchen. 4. Avocado, the vessel cushion. Walter, 74, came to me worried about his cholesterol. He had swapped butter for low-fat spreads, but his numbers still weren't improving. When he replaced those spreads with half an avocado each day, something changed. 3 months later, his cholesterol levels were healthier, and he told me, "I feel like my heart is breathing easier. Here's why." After 60, blood vessels naturally become stiffer. Think of them as garden hoses left out in the sun. Less flexible, more prone to cracks. This stiffness makes the heart work harder. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, which act like soft cushions, easing pressure inside the vessels. They also supply potassium, which helps balance sodium and support steady blood pressure. A 2020 study in nutrition and metabolism showed that older adults following a very low-carb, high-fat diet, including foods like avocado, experienced significant improvements in lipid profiles and better insulin sensitivity. In other words, their hearts were under less strain and their blood sugar responded more smoothly. The simple practice? Enjoy half an avocado daily, ideally with meals to boost absorption of fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. You can mash it on eggs, slice it into salads, or blend it into a creamy side dish. Just avoid pairing it with sugary spreads or processed breads, which cancel out its benefits. Picture your arteries as tight, rigid pipes. Avocado works like slipping in a soft lining, allowing blood to flow more freely. That cushion can mean less strain on the heart and more energy for the activities you love: gardening, playing with grandkids, or simply walking without fatigue. Walter's choice was small but powerful. Replacing butter with avocado helped his heart beat steadier. But there's one more food, a snack you can carry in your pocket that acts like armor for your heart. Let's explore that next. 5. Nuts. Pocket-sized armor. Margaret, 66, had a sweet tooth that often left her reaching for cookies in the afternoon. She felt frustrated. "I just can't stop the cravings," she said. When she began carrying a small bag of walnuts in her purse, those cravings quieted. Within 3 months, she had lost 8 pounds and told me, "It feels like my body is finally listening again." Here's why. After 60, blood sugar swings hit harder. Each spike drains energy and fuels inflammation. Nuts provide a unique shield. Fiber plus healthy fats that slow digestion, reduce hunger, and calm inflammatory pathways. Instead of feeding the fire alarms like IL-6, they dampen the noise, helping your system stay steady. Research backs this up. A 2022 review in Clinical Interventions in Aging found that older adults consuming higher protein, including nuts, showed improvements in both muscle mass and gait speed. Other trials show walnuts, in particular, are linked with a 13% slower rate of cognitive decline in seniors. That's not just about numbers. It's about remembering names, staying sharp in conversations, and holding on to independence. The practical habit: a simple 1-ounce handful daily, about 14 walnut halves or 23 almonds. Choose unsalted, unprocessed varieties and enjoy them as snacks or sprinkled on salads. The key is consistency. And if you're concerned about calories, studies reveal nuts actually improve weight management because they keep you satisfied longer. Think of nuts as pocket-sized armor for your heart, always ready when temptation strikes. Instead of fueling a sugar crash, they steady the body's rhythm. Margaret no longer fears the afternoon slump, and neither should you. But many seniors still believe nuts are too calorie dense, or that low-fat diets are safer for the heart. The truth: research tells a very different story, and busting those myths may change how you see aging nutrition forever. Aging doesn't mean surrendering energy, clarity, or independence. It often comes down to choosing the right fuel: eggs for strength, fish for calm, greens for balance, avocado for heart health, and nuts for protection. 5 simple foods with no carbs, no sugar, yet powerful benefits for seniors. Each one is like a small key, helping to unlock a healthier, steadier life after 60. Pause for a moment and imagine. What would it feel like to wake up with steady energy, to walk without fear of falling, to share more moments fully present with your loved ones? These choices aren't about restriction. They're about freedom. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 foods do you already enjoy? And which one will you try adding this week? Share your answer in the comments. Your experience may inspire another senior. And if this resonated, a gentle reminder: click, like, subscribe to Healthy Aging Hub, and stay with me for the next video on joint healing foods after 60. Because every bite isn't just food. It's a way of staying present, strong, and deeply connected to the people who matter most.